everybody can remember where they were September 11th. I remember I was in the lunchroom at the time that I heard that the Twin Towers had been hit, and I remember girls that I was sitting next to crying because they knew, or they thought that their fathers would have to go to war, and no one really knew what was going to happen. The day that our troops went to Iraq, I know it was a scary time for everybody, and I think that it's so important to support our troops. I think that we should support them for so many reasons, because for one, they sacrifice their families and themselves. They also show such a willingness to serve their country, even though they may not agree with what's going on, or how many times they may not agree on how many times they should go, or they may not necessarily agree with the war itself, but they still go because of their love for our country, and they go so we don't have to go. So I think that for one, we should support our troops because of their support, because of their sacrifice for their families and of themselves, and I think that their willingness to lay down their lives for us is so honorable, and I think that we should just pay tribute to them. For one, they sacrifice their families. A lot of them have not even seen, sons or daughters grow up, or, by the time they get back from overseas, their children, they may be 1 or 2 years old. I remember when I was younger, my mom had me and my dad was away, and this wasn't even during war times, and by the time he came home, I was 18 months old. So you miss out on, the first steps, the first words, and so I think that the sacrifice that they show for us, it's just amazing that they set aside their families to go fight a war for us, so that we don't have to fight, and so that we can be free. I also think that they just have such a willingness to serve against, all obstacles. The statistics show on globalsecurity.org that every month since 2003, 75 to 85 people die in Iraq every month, and also 340 are injured, and that's every single month. And they show such a willingness to lay down their lives for our country so that we can be free, and so that we can have the security of the freedom and being able to walk out into wherever we are in the country, and not be afraid that this will happen again. And they serve so that we don't have to go over there, and I think that's so patriotic of them, because some of them, I had a guy call in because I work at a bank, and he was 19 years old, and he was going to Iraq. They're so young, and a lot of them don't know if they're coming home, and they fight, and even though they're scared, they go over there and they fight so that we don't have to. So I think that we should all support them, even though we may not agree with the war. We need to support the cause of them going there to fight so that we don't have to fight. I remember when I was in class, just going back to just the things that they go through every day with the violence that's going on there. I think that we just need to rally around them and show our support, even if it's just writing letters. Our church, we write letters to the troops. We send care packages over there. And I had a guy in my class say that just getting a care package from someone that he didn't know, it just really lifted their spirits over there. And he was just telling me all the things that they go through with the war-stricken country, and how life is just not guaranteed over there, and how they were, I guess, in a little village over there, and they were trying to get to, someone that they had been trying to capture that was a threat to the U.S. And I guess the village people had took their children and set them outside of the walls. And so, unfortunately, they just had to bulldoze the children right out of the way and kill some children, and you could tell that really made an impact on his life, just seeing children die like that. And, they see things like that every day. And I think that it's so great that with all the violence over there, they continue to serve, and a lot of them just have such a heart to fight for their country. And, a lot, knowing they not agree with the war, yes, we want them home, but they realize that they have a job to do. And, they fight, for us. And so, I just thought that was so great because, a lot of them don't know if they're coming home. A lot of them don't come home. And a lot of them are so young. And I just think it's so important that they know that we're supportive of them. Even though we may not support the war, that we're supporting them fighting for us. So I just think that for me, it just hit close to home because I have a lot of friends over there. And, I have a guy that I grew up with since elementary school. He's over there for a second tour. And, he hasn't even really get to see his child grow up, but he's over there fighting. He's even won awards. And I thank Jeff so much for going over there. And I don't know how he does it, but he does it, and he doesn't care. He's very patriotic, and he does it for us. And so, in conclusion, I just think that, we should all want to support our troops. I think that it's important that we show our patriotism. Even though we don't agree with the war, I think that we should support them because they're fighting for us so that we can be free. Thank you, and have a blessed day.